السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته، وأهلا وسهلا بكم مشاهدينا الأحبة في برنامج درس على الهواء. أكيد سوف نكون متواصلين معكم من الآن وحتى 5:30 نحل معكم جميع الأسئلة المتعلقة بمادة اللغة الإنجليزية، المادة الأساسية في هذا اليوم، وبالتأكيد نستقبل جميع الاستفسارات والأسئلة سواء كانت من الكتاب المدرسي وأيضا عبر اللي من الأسئلة الامتحانية السابقة. إذا مشاهدينا الأحبة، في البداية سوف تكون هناك تفاصيل حول الورقة الامتحانية. أهلا بكم أحبتي من جديد، برنامج درس على الهواء، مادة اللغة الإنجليزية، المادة الأساسية. إذن اليوم سوف نتحدث عن تفاصيل الورقة الامتحانية مباشرة حتى كذا نستغل الوقت معاكم مع الأستاذ طبعا سلطان بن حمد السالمي، معلم أول لمادة اللغة الإنجليزية. أهلا وسهلا فيك ومرحبا.
أهلا بك أستاذة فايزة، مرحبا بكم، ونرحب بأعزائنا الطلاب الدبلوم التعليم العام في حصة المراجعة النهائية، ونتمنى لهم إن شاء الله التوفيق. سوف نتدرج إن شاء الله في شرح ورقة الامتحانية والمهارات بالتفصيل إن شاء الله، وسوف نعطي بعض النصائح في كيفية التعامل مع المهارات المختلفة. Dear students, I would like you to get ready. So we would like to give you some hints and tips on how to deal with different skills of the final exam for tomorrow, inshallah. Okay, are you ready? So if you are ready, please get your notebook and a pen or pencil to take notes, please. All right. So for grade 12B, the exam specification will be focused. So before we start, I would like to give you the agenda for today's. I will give you the exam specification for each skills. Then we will give you some hints on how to deal with each part of the exam. And then we will practice doing different tasks related to each skills of the exam. All right, so let's get started so that we can save some time for your questions if you have some inquiries and questions during our session today. So for tomorrow's exam, they will focus on different skills. For example, the listening will be 2 parts, multiple choices of 7 questions, and then you have WH question for part 2 in the second page, part 2, WH question and some kind of multiple choices. For the vocabulary, as you can see here, we have multiple choice. For vocabulary, grammar and grammar vocabulary, those are the three of them. They will be multiple choice. So you will just try to focus and read the questions carefully in order to shade in the bubble next to the correct option. Then we will go immediately to the reading. We have three parts of reading, true, false, then the WH question, and then we have multiple choices. And then we will focus more on writing if we have enough time by the end of this session. We have two types of writing. We have the informative writing, and we will give you some hints on how to deal with informative. And then we have the second one, we'll have the interactive writing, which means that it will give you some hints on how to deal or how to write letters or emails. All right, so let's move on. So those are the listenings. For example, listening 1 will be repeated twice. I would like you to be careful. And the total marks for the first page, it will be multiple choices. Only 7 marks, 7 questions equals 7 marks. So you have to be careful. Listening number 2 will be repeated also twice, and there will be 4 WH question and 4 multiple choices, the same as semester 1. All right, so the total marks of listening will be 15 marks, 7 and 8. All right, if you go to vocabulary and grammar here, they will weight, let's say, 10 marks, all of them. But the first vocabulary will be 4 options. The grammar will be only 2 options. If you are lucky enough, you will get the correct answer easily. All right. So, and then a combination of grammar and vocabulary task, also multiple choice. Okay. So you will you will choose the correct option. You will shade in the correct bubble. All right. So, and then reading, the first one will be true, false. And you have already familiarized yourself with this from the first semester. Then we will have evaluative and narrative text for reading. Then the last one, as we mentioned, will be the informative, writing, and interactive. So I would like you to be really careful dealing with writing, because writing will worth 20 marks and reading will worth 25 marks, as I will mention in the second slide. Okay, so this is my hints for you, how to manage your time effectively. For the listening, 7 marks. All right, so for listening number 1, listening number 2 will be 8 marks. So the total will be 15 marks. You will devote at least 25 minutes for this. It depends on the level of the student. Sometimes students might not take more than 20 minutes. All right. So vocabulary, it will worth 2.5 marks. Grammar, 2.5 marks also. And then grammar and vocabulary, 5 marks. The total mark of grammar and vocabulary altogether, 10 marks. So you will devote 20 marks depending on how speed or how easy the question is. All right. Then we will move to the reading. The reading first one, 7 marks, true and false. Reading 2 and reading 3 will weight 18 marks. The total marks for reading, 25. So if you just pay attention here, for writing informative will worth 10 marks. For writing 2, also interactive, 10 marks. So I would like you to pay attention, to devote, at least spend some more time on writing, and then add 10 extra minutes for proofreading or checking your work for the whole exam. All right, so writing will worth 20 marks for 2 tasks. So this is really important in your exam tomorrow. So some students might, for example, not focus on writing, and then they will have maybe 20 minutes at the end of the exam, they will write quickly. So they will have a lot of mistakes. So be careful, try to devote your time while you are doing your exam. While you are writing, devote your time effectively. And this is the way. So you have to devote your time 25 minutes for listening, 20 minutes for grammar and vocabulary. Then let's say 1 hour and a half or 1 hour or so for reading, and then 70 minutes for writing. This is approximate so that you can manage your time effectively. All right, dear students. So let's move on to the listening. So this is the listening part. If you go to the listening, this is a real exam from the previous years. So the listening, how can you deal with the listening effectively? Read the questions carefully. Number 1. So you will read the rubric or the task here. You are going to hear a conversation. So the listening will be about a conversation between an interviewer and a safety professional. So 2 persons will speak in this conversation. Okay. Then imagine the conversation. Try to read the questions before the listening. The teacher comes with the listening CD. All right. Then underline the keywords, and this is really important. Try to underline. For example, Sarah has been working as a safety professional for. He is asking for how many years here. Be careful. And there are numbers. So you have to be careful dealing with numbers. All right? So, and number 4, hint number 4, you have to be careful with dates. We have already mentioned this one. Dates, numbers, names, synonyms sometimes, and antonyms. Be careful with the opposites or antonyms and synonyms sometimes. Okay? Listen carefully to catch the keywords and shade in the suitable bubble. Okay? So you will read each question, focus, and try to underline the keywords. For example, question number 2. According to Sarah, her country gets a lot of what? According to Sarah, she will talk about country getting what? Earthquakes, hurricanes, floods. So you will listen carefully and you will focus when she talk about her country. Is it affected more with earthquakes, hurricanes, or floods? So try to underline the keywords. Try maybe to translate sometimes the keywords for you to help you understand when you are listening. Okay, so those are the hints for task 1. I hope by now you get all these things in your mind so that you can focus and apply them effectively tomorrow. All right, so let's move to page 2 of the listening. The same thing, but here you will have to write and the spelling is very important. You will have WH questions. Read the question carefully. Number 1. Underline the keywords here. The keywords. When was the first London Marathon? When? He's asking about time, for example, or a year. Here in between brackets, he put a year. So it might be 1990 or 2022 and so on. Okay? Number 9, how long? He's asking about duration. How long does the marathon last? Does it last for 10 minutes, 1 hour, and so on? You will think. You will just underline the keywords, then listen carefully. Okay? Be careful with WH question, dates, names, numbers, synonyms, antonyms, and spelling. Spelling for task 2 of the listening. Here. This is task 2, listening part 1. Spelling, very important. For example, if they ask you to write the country Oman. Oman is very obvious, very simple, very easy for everybody. They can spell the words correctly. Okay? And this is really important. If you go to question number 10, what is the main goal? The main goal. He will just talk about the main goal of the marathon. What is the purpose? Maybe he will ask, what is the objective? Why they are doing this marathon? Why? Instead of asking why, he said, what is the main goal? It might be many goals, but you will focus on the main goal here. Okay, so this is really important. Okay. How many ways can participants register for the marathon? How many? So WH questions are very important, and we will mention in next slides a bit about WH question. It is really useful for the students. Okay, for part 2, you will have to read the questions and the options. In 2022, the London Marathon will support dash organization. How many organization they will support in 2022? 18, 26, 47. In these questions, students will have to read the questions, underline the keywords before listening, so that when you listen, you will just try to match what you have read to what you are listening, so that you can understand what is talking about in the listening. All right? So I hope by now you are clear with listening and how to deal with listening questions. All right? So let's move on to vocabulary, and here I gathered all the important vocabulary from the glossaries. You have 4 themes. Sorry, you have 4 themes. Theme number 1 will talk about news and the media, and here are the most important vocabulary. As by now, students will have to they have already know all these, memorized all these words and their meaning. You will study and revise by tonight, for example. And you have to be careful dealing with the part of speech. Accurate, this is adjective. Accuracy, for example, the noun. Accurately, the adverb. Okay, so this is very important when you deal with parts of speech. For example, here, if you go to, for example, survive. Survive, this is a verb. Survival, okay? You will have different parts of speech. The same will apply to theme 2, work and careers. Those vocabulary will talk about future careers and work, okay? For example, analyze. This is a verb. What is the noun? Can you say the noun? Yes, analysis. Very good. So apply for, you have to be careful. This is a verb followed by a preposition. When you apply for a job, for example, I would like to apply for a position in this company, and so on. So you have to be careful dealing with parts of speech when you revise for your vocabulary for tomorrow's exam. And this one concerned about health and safety, all these words related to health and the safety either at home or outside the house. For example here, destruction is a noun. What's the verb? Destroy. Very good. This is very important. You have to check sometimes in your dictionary if this is a noun, what is the verb. So there might be some suffixes or prefixes you have to add before the word or after the word. Okay, so this is really important. And last theme will be about citizenship, and all these words are related to citizenship. So you will study them, and you will revise the meaning, and you will try to mix your own sentences so that you don't forget the meaning. So if you go to tolerance, تسامح, this is a noun. What is the adjective? Tolerant. Very good. For example, Oman promotes tolerance between countries. So this is very important parts of speech. I hope it's clear for you all. So what kind of vocabulary teacher? Many students will ask what kind of vocabulary question will come about those. So those are the real exam for the vocabulary. Read the sentence with the options carefully, then cross out. For example, let's do the first one, number 16. And then I might ask some students who might call within the program. People have to get permission from the government for a charity. So the keywords are charity, okay, and permission from the government. People have to get permission from the government to what? To dedicate to spend time. يكرس وقته. Support, يدعم, to help. Fundraise, to collect money for charity. Eradicate, what does it mean eradicate? To get rid, okay, to get rid of something. So the correct answer will be fundraise. This is a purpose of collecting money for a charity. Fundraise. So this is really important. Try to cross out. This one will not work with me. This one will not work with the sentence, for example. Then you will have maybe one or two options so that it will be easy for you to choose or shade in the bubble. Okay? So if you go to 17, another example here. I can't prove that he owes me money because there was only what? Dash agreement between us. ما أقدر أثبت إنه عليه مبلغ حاليا لأنه كان ويش؟ اتفاق manual اعتيادي verbal شفهي أو لفظي formal رسمي torrential means غزارة أو غزير. Okay, so it will be this one doesn't work, this one doesn't work, so either verbal or formal. So there is no proof because there was only what? Verbal. It was only verbal, so that he owes him some money. Verbal agreement. It means اتفاق لفظي. All right. So those are the questions targeted by the vocabulary, by the exam writers. They will choose some vocabulary from each theme and they will make some questions, and the students will have to read the question carefully in order to choose the correct option. All right. Find the links sometimes. This is very important. Does it link to the sentence or not? Indicate which option by choosing the correct option. Okay, so those are related to vocabulary. Now let's move on so that we can save plenty of time for you. Those are the theme grammatical structures in the whole book for semester 2. The first grammatical rule in theme 1 was talking about reported and directed speech. Second one was talking about modal verbs. The third grammatical structure was talking about infinitive and gerunds. The fourth one and the last one was talking about how to use used to plus infinitive. So by now you have already covered most of them, and I will just explain in depth about each one of these. All right? So let's go to question grammatical structure number 1. And I have mentioned some question, if you notice, some question related to the grammatical structure here. Okay? My teacher asked me why I was late. I replied that the traffic was bad. So when you just transfer from a direct speech to reported speech. Okay? So this is really important when you indicate that, for example, you have in the conversation or question or a statement. Okay? So let's do the task together here. I will come early, said Ali. Ali promised that he comes or would come. So you will transfer the tense come here. Ali will come, because will come, you will transfer will to would, from the present to the past. So the correct answer will be would come. So another technique, another hints here, maybe the exam writer will just write the same sentence but with different options. Read with me, number 2, this one. I will come early, said Ali. Ali promised that he would, after would, be careful. This is a modal verb. After would, should, must. So this, it will come the infinitive. So would plus infinitive. Okay, this is very important. So what is the infinitive verb from come? Is it came or come? So after would, only the infinitive. So where is the infinitive here? Come. Without s, adding, without ing, without ed, after would. So you have to focus, read the grammatical structure, try to apply some examples, and those are some real examples. So let's move to another question here. So we have adjectives ending in ed and some adjective ending in ing. What is the differences between those adjectives? For adjectives that ending in ed, they deal with how we feel about something. If you say that I am interested in learning French, for example, it talks about somebody, some people, talk about human. I am interested. For example, if you talk about a trip, the trip was interesting, ممتع, شيق. Okay, so if you see a movie, if you saw a movie last night and you would like to talk about it, the movie was, if you talk about something here that affects on us, the movie was exciting. Very good. You can't say that the movie was excited. Okay, you can just describe it for a person. I was excited, he was excited, she was excited. All right, but the movie was exciting. All right, so and you can apply the same here. This is for people here, and those are for things, to describe things. For example, I was exhausted from the load of work last night. I was exhausted. I am describing my feelings. I am describing myself. I was exhausted. I add ed to the verb, to the adjective here, because those are all adjectives. If you would like to describe the work you were doing, you say the work was exhausting. You will add ing. I hope this is clear for all of you. And you can apply, you can make your own sentences, by the way. Okay, let's move to grammar questions for theme 2. And these grammatical questions will focus on the modal verbs. And I have some notes for you here.
نعم أستاذ، بس عندنا مكالمة، لو ناخذ المكالمة نعطيهم فرصة كده. السلام عليكم يا عبد السلام.
عليكم السلام.
كيف حالك عبد السلام؟
الحمد لله تمام.
كيفك مع اللغة الإنجليزية؟
والله زين يعني.
لا تيأس. طيب هذا الأستاذ عندك موجود، أعطيه سؤالك.
السلام عليكم عبد السلام.
وعليكم السلام.
How are you and how is your preparation for tomorrow's exam? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so do you have any question in mind related to exam tomorrow?
No, actually, I don't have any question.
So what is your favorite part of the exam tomorrow? Is it listening, grammar, vocabulary, reading, writing, or what?
Vocabulary.
Vocabulary. So you have to memorize a lot of words. How can you revise for the vocabulary exam? Al-Salam.
like memorizing the some word.
Yes, because some
And
students
they
might ask, teacher, I always forget the words. Today I will revise the words and tomorrow I will forget. How can you help your
Yes,
friends
yes.
not to forget? How?
Yes. What is the solution for that?
Yes,
How can I
you can write.
memorize?
Absolutely, you are absolutely right, Abdussalam. You can write the definition. You can put that words into a sentence. You can make your own sentence so that you will not forget the meaning of that vocabulary. Excellent, Abdussalam. I hope that you will do great tomorrow, inshallah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abdussalam.
Thank you.
كل التوفيق لك يا عبد السلام. ومعانا أيضا علي. السلام عليكم يا علي. أيوة يا علي.
وعليكم
موجود؟
السلام ورحمة الله.
كيف حالك يا علي؟
خير وعافية نعمة الله، شوفك أنت بخير؟
الحمد لله بخير. متابعنا من البداية؟
لا والله.
بس الحين؟
والله من بدية.
طيب يا علي أعطينا سؤالك، تفضل. بس يا ريت تخفض على صوت التلفزيون. اسمعنا بس من سماعة الهاتف. يا علي يلا أعطينا سؤالك، عندك الأستاذ.
Hi Ali, how are you?
خلاص
Where's Ali?
بيرجع إن شاء الله بعد
The line
شوية.
was cut maybe.
يلا ناخذ سؤال أستاذ. عندنا أيضا سؤال من البريد الإلكتروني ليارا. سؤالها في اختبار 2021-2022 الدور الثاني.
أيوة.
سؤال رقم 19 الجزئية ألف.
19.
نعم
في
الجزئية ألف.
vocabulary yes. This one I think this one.
سؤال يارا خالد، نتمنى تكون
يارا
موجودة.
اللي في الفوكابلري مع يارا.
جزئية ألف أستاذ.
جزئية ألف هذه.
19.
أيوة 19.
طيب.
The police, this is for, related to vocabulary. The police discovered that a faulty air conditioner dashed the fire in their house. الشرطة اكتشفت ان في خلل في المكيف الاير كونديشنر، هو اللي تسبب هذا الخلل في النار، في حريق للمنزل. For example, you will say checked or estimated or monitored or caused. So you will cross out checked, not working, estimated, approximate, this one, monitored, this is for the control. So the correct answer will be caused. The police discovered that the faulty air conditioner caused, here we need caused, the fire. Caused the fire because the house was on fire because of the faulty air conditioner. So the correct answer will be caused, السبب. Alright? I hope this is clear for you.
نعم. أستاذ في سؤال أحس أنه كثير تكرر، سواء كان في هاشتاج درس على الهواء أو أيضا على البريد، في أكثر من طالب كرر هذا السؤال، فعشان كذا خلينا ناخذه. السؤال ما هي المواضيع اللي سوف تأتي في الاختبار في الرايتنينج؟
هذا السؤال دائما متكرر but to be honest the topics will be really easy for all students in the Sultanate, so you will have to focus. They are talking about writing I think. يتكلموا عن مواضيع الكتابة. فمواضيع الكتابة they will come from the curriculum، من المنهج المدرسي، بيجي من المنهج المدرسي، ما بيجي من خارج منهج، ولكن الطالب هنا لازم يفرق بين الكتابة اللي هي الانفورماتيف والانتراكتيف. أهم شيء الاستراكشر وكيف تكتب الانترودكشن والبادي والكونكلوجن. راح نعرج عليه إن شاء الله على السريع الحين، بس لحد ما نستقبل الاتصال الآخر نروح على السريع للرايتنج because this is important. alright. بنروح على الرايتنج، دائما سألوا هذا السؤال على السريع. Those are the writing here. I hope this is clear for everybody. So the writing in the first task they will ask you to write about a topic. So informative, it comes from the inform, to inform the writer about your topic here. Writing meant to teach the reader about a topic. Inform, this is the verb, to officially tell somebody about something. You will tell him by giving the introduction, body and conclusion. An informative writing meant to give information about something, either about a person, a place, an object, an event, and so on. So let's go to the topic about informative. So this is the structure. For example, the informative, this is one of the suggested topics. For example, for the final exam, our roles as good citizen in protecting the environment. This is from theme 4, citizenship. Okay. So the first hint here, you have to read the instruction carefully. Write at least 100 words. So you have to be careful. You will write 100 words. Okay. And then your writing should be what? Clear and well organized. You will write clearly so that the teachers who are going to correct your piece of writing, they will not find it difficult to correct your sentences, your paragraph, your spelling. They must be error free, let's say. Okay, and it must be well organized. What does it mean, well organized? You will have to write the introduction, then the body, then the conclusion. It is clear and organized for the teacher who is going to correct your piece of writing. All right, then read the whole topic carefully. They will give you, for example, some question to help you: who, or why, or when, or how, or and so on. They will give you some question to help you. Then make a list. Try to make a list of ideas, reasons, maybe possible some reasons, and some related vocabulary. So we are talking about topic-related vocabulary. Those vocabulary you will mention in writing about that particular topic, which is about, for example, citizens and protecting the environment. All words are related to this topic. Then try to make sure to use a wide range of vocabulary, grammar, and linking words or phrases. So this is to enhance your marks, to just give you the highest mark in writing, because this will worth 10 marks, as you have seen here on the screen. And then spend some time to check your spelling. This is really important, because sometimes students might write a paragraph and then they just submit their paper. So you will write tomorrow, inshallah, then go and proofread. What does it mean, proofread, teacher? To go and check whether there are some spelling mistakes or some punctuation mistakes. Maybe you wrote a word incorrectly, you will replace it, or you will correct it. So this is very important, checking your spelling when you finish your paragraph and the punctuation. This is called proofreading. All right, I hope this is clear. And this is the sample. For example, here the sample for the exam for the informative. You will find like this, inshallah, tomorrow. And these are, for example, the details. For the introduction, you will write the definition, for example, introduce the topic, and write some outlining the organization. Then you will mention something about what is the good citizen, what is the topic about, all right, and the details such as reasons you will mention, and examples or opinions. Then you will say how can you protect the environment as a good citizen. Mention how can local students help improve the environment. Give more details supported by examples, and those are examples very important. Okay, and you can write some reasons and opinions. Then say why. Give a concluding sentence. You may add your own ideas. It's all up to you. Suggestions, future prediction, your piece of advice. Maybe you would like to advise the reader or anybody else. All right. This is the whole format about informative writing, and this is the sample here. I got something ready for you. Our roles as a good citizen in protecting the environment. And as you see here, this is the introduction here. Introduction, it's only 2 to 3 sentences, 2 to 3 lines. Then leave one blank line, jump to the body. This is the body here. Body, paragraph 1, body, paragraph 2, and this is the conclusion. So I have already mentioned in the first place, or first of all, then additionally. So this is the linking words, the linking phrases. Those are very important. Moreover, such as when you mention the example, such as, or for example, or for instance, this is really important. When you use this, you will gain more marks, by the way. Okay. Then in conclusion, you may write in conclusion, or finally, or to sum up. So this is really important. This is sample number 1, and this is sample number 2. Our roles as good citizen in protecting the environment. This is a different paragraph. Okay, this is the introduction. This is the main body, paragraph 1, the body, this is body 1, body 2, and this is the conclusion. And have used different chunks, different phrases. There I used in conclusion. In this paragraph I used to sum up, the same. Instead of repeating the same word finally. If you haven't memorized to sum up or in conclusion, you can just write finally correctly like this. All right, I hope this is clear for part 1 in writing. And you have asked about the second one. If we have time, of course, we can just go to the second one. And here are the suggested topics you are asking about. Okay, suggested topic for the informative. They might ask you about wrong eating habits or your dream job. Those are related to the curriculum in your book for semester 2. How do people get news nowadays? This is about news and media from theme 1, by the way. Citizens' right. What are the rights for citizens? اللي هي حقوق المواطنين. The qualities of a good journalist. Maybe qualities of a good interviewer. Qualities means سمات. The descriptive words. What are the qualities? The qualities of a good team member, or the importance of working in a team. Right? Eating habits. Advice on how to keep yourself healthy. This is related to health, safety and health. And those are the suggested topics. All right. If we move quickly to part 2 for the writing, because this is really important, as I mentioned right from the beginning, this is writing number 2. So in writing number 2, you will have either to write an email or a letter. It might be formal or informal. In the previous years, the exam writers focused on informal, not the formal one, in which you write to your friend, a friendly email or letter. All right. So we here in this session we will focus on both, so that you, in case you have a formal letter tomorrow, you have an idea about it, or informal, you have already used to write the informal writing.
يعني أستاذ ممكن رسائل formal تجي في الامتحان؟
In the last maybe 5, maybe 7 years, they focused on formal. ركزوا على الرسائل الغير رسمية. Informal. They focus on the informal letters or emails. But maybe they will focus this year on the formal. So you have to know the layout. لازم تعرف ترتب تشكيلة كيف تبدأ وكيف تختم في الرسالة الرسمية أو الرسالة الودية اللي هي للأصدقاء. So we have 2 parts. Here the informal, you have to read the instruction carefully and you have to decide is it formal or informal. If it is informal, you already know how to deal with informal. If it is formal, you will deal with dear sir or dear madam or dear manager or dear teacher, and you will have to, for example, to write about a complaint, or you have to write about applying for a job, for example. Okay, and for friendly or informal letter, I think by now you know how to deal with it. Okay, so this is like informal. You have to write to your friend. You will just discover tomorrow if they write. If you find, imagine that you are Nasr or Nasr al-Ajmi, for example. Here, last year you took a course during the summer holiday. But be careful with the tenses, because he said last year, if you write a paragraph, informal letter, and the topic was focused on something happened in the past, so you will have to use the tenses in the past, even though it is an interactive writing. So you have to be careful, dear students. So this one you have to make sure you have to mention the introduction, main body, the conclusion, or the suggestion. So you have to the same thing with interactive there. This is the formal. Describe the school, your class, and suggest why he or she should take a course during the summer holiday. So this is the sample here. You will for the informal letter or email, the greeting, تحية. Dear Salim, dear Salma, أي واحد منهم تستخدم. Okay, then you will say, hello my dear friend, how are you, how is your family, I hope that you are doing great. ترحب، رسالة ترحيبية في المقدمة سطر ونص سطرين. Then you will write, for example, the purpose of writing. I am writing this letter to give you some information about, or I am writing this letter to invite you to visit me in Oman, for example, if it is an invitation letter. All right, so you can thank him for the last or previous letters, of course. Thank you for your last letter. If you just mention, you can just screenshot and revise. Thank you for your last letter or emails. I am writing. This is the purpose, the goal, or the objective of writing. So you're writing in the introduction. So this is the greeting, and this is the introduction. In the body paragraph, you will write more details about what happened there, or when, or who, or where. The detail number 1. Then you can mention more details. They might ask you about things you have to mention in the informal letter. Okay, then in the closing you will say that I hope that I have or I provided you with clear information about the topic. or I hope you get some benefits from my experience or advice or suggestion. Then you will end up by best wishes and your name that you will be given in the exam. So this is the sample here. All right. If you focus on the screen right now, I wrote Dear Badr. So this is asking you about, for example, ask you, I have been unemployed for a long time. He's asking you how to do well in the job interview. So this one is, indirect questions. He is asking you, or she is asking you to write some tips on how to deal with a job interview. So you will give him a paragraph, what to do before the job interview, and what are you going to do, what things you do during the job interview. So I divided the paragraph into different parts. So this is the introduction or the greeting. Let's say, Dear Badr, this is the greeting. How are you and how's your family, and so on. Then I am writing this email to give you some quick tips to help you out, or I am writing this email to help you overcome the job interview and how to deal with the job interview either after or before or during the job interview. And then I wrote some linking words here. First of all, this is the paragraph number 1, body paragraph number 2. Next, on the day of the interview, this is during the job interview. Then this is the conclusion. I wish you all the best in your upcoming job interview, or you may say, I am looking forward to hearing from you soon. You can end your letter, or this is the informal letter, by this way. And then you write best wishes, all the best, then your name, Ali. So I hope this layout is clear to everybody. I would like to see like this when we correct the final year exam or diploma exam for the English language exam. I would like to see the same format, the same organization: an introduction, greeting, and then the body paragraph, which will be divided into 2 paragraphs, and then the closing or the conclusion. Okay, I hope that this is clear for all of you. If we move to the formal letter, this is maybe it might come in the exam. All right, so you will deal with Dear Sir or Dear Madam, the same thing, but you will not say hi, how are you, how is your family, to teacher or manager. Be careful, this is a formal. Immediately the first line in the first paragraph, you will say the purpose of writing. Why are you writing this letter? You will say, I am writing to ask you for more information about the job advertised in the newspaper last week, for example. Okay, I saw your advertisement about a job, or I am writing to complain about bad service in the hotel or in the restaurant or wherever. All right, so then you will move swiftly to the second paragraph, write more details about that issue or that topic. If the email is about applying for a job, mention all your qualification, مؤهلات, skills, مهارات, training programs, courses, abilities, and hobbies. So it will help you to write more so that you have some ideas right now. Then you will mention more ideas. You will close or do the conclusion by what? In this way. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Or I hope to be accepted in this job. Then you will write yours faithfully. If you don't know the name of the person, you write yours faithfully. If you know, you can write yours sincerely. Then your name. So I think this is the format, and this is the ready-made formal letter. Dear manager, I am writing to express my sincere interest in volunteering, because he is asking you, for example, to volunteer, and this is the request and the letter. In Oman, having learned about the impactful work organization. This is the format. This is the sample number 1. Dear manager, this is the introduction, and this is the body here, 2 bodies, and then thank you for considering my application, and then yours faithfully and with your name. And of course, I've written my name in here. All right. So let's move to the second sample here, and or the conjunction. Those are the conjunction you will add. For example, if you want to add more ideas, you will write and also try to focus on in addition or moreover or furthermore, and all these conjunction followed by a comma. Instead of writing also all the time, also, try to replace that word by writing moreover, furthermore, in addition to that, or added to that, furthermore, and then don't forget the comma after those conjunction. And then if you would like to write about reason, you will write because, for these reasons, due to. So try to use different conjunctions or linking words. I hope this is clear for all of you. For example, here the example, you will say for instance and for example. So many students will write for example. They will repeat the word for example 3-4 times. Okay. Now it is a good idea to write different words. For example, for instance, such as, and so on. Okay, I hope this is clear for you. And those are some conjunctions and linking words to help you out in your writing, either formative or interactive writing. All right? Any more questions?
أستاذ لو كان في الامتحان يعني باراجراف طويل، كيف الطالب يتعامل معاه؟ يعني فيما معناه كيف نقدر نطلع الإجابات؟
في الريدنج هنا قصده، مش في الرايتنج. إذا كان
الباراجراف الطويل، لما يكون في باراجراف وفي عليه أسئلة.
أيوه، هو قسم القراءة هذا.
أيوة.
اللي هو في الريدنج. نعم. Thank you for this question and I hope I have some task for this.
يعني هي قصدها هل في مهارات تساعد الطالب على
المهارات
الحصول على الإجابات؟
skimming and scanning اللي هي القراءة بسرعة، اللي هي this is a good question by the way asked by our lovely students and I hope that they will just manage to find the answer quickly if they focus. For example, you are asking about reading. Here we have in the reading number 1, how can you get the answers quickly? So don't read everything, the text, don't read everything. Go immediately to the task. Prince Robert is a coastal city. I will underline, try to underline the keywords. ضع خط تحت الكلمات المفتاحية، الكلمات المهمة في العبارة. بعدين نروح للنص. Then go back to the text to check. This will save you a lot of time in the exam. So each question must not take more than 2-3 minutes from you. It might be very difficult. Some difficult words, but you have to guess the words from the context sometimes. You have to use like synonyms or antonyms they might bring here. Okay, so you have to be careful. If it is difficult, try to skip that question, put a mark here like this, and then go to the next question. For example, Prince Robert is a coastal city. Where is in the text that they said Prince Robert is a coastal city? If you go here, it is white sandy beaches. So sandy beaches means a coastal city. So is it true or false? This is true. So you have to be careful. This is really true here. Okay? So this is true. If you go to the second question, it is more expensive to study a foreign language. More expensive, it means here, the opposite of cheap, to study a foreign language in your own country. It's very expensive to study in your own country. Where is in the text they say this or they don't say it? So you will go here. You will go here. For example here. In my opinion, learning a language in your home country can save you. So this is what? True or false, dear students? This is false. So those sentences are contradicting each other. اوكي، يعني العبارتين تناقض بعضهم البعض، العباره اللي هنا تناقض الكلام اللي موجود، اذا هذه على طول بتكون false. So this is really careful. According to the text they ask, so this is the long text here. هنا عندنا باراجراف كبير مثل ما قال الاستاذ السؤال اللي قبل شويه، باراجراف كبير. كيف نطلع الاجابات بشكل سريع؟ كيف نطلع الاجابات بشكل سريع؟ عندنا المهارات التاليه. Read the question. The writer is a journalist، صحفي، دكتور، researcher. دور في الفقره وين الكاتب وايش وظيفته. بس يريد كلمة writer، دور writer. Maybe you will not find the first question in the first paragraph. Maybe. So the exam writer will trick you. They will just put the first question. The answer will be in the last paragraph. Maybe because it will be talking about his opinion. So if you go here, I must admit that we doctors. If you go to the text, the correct answer is doctor. You will find it here. So sometimes you have to pick the answer by reading fast by your eyes, not reading every single words. Don't waste your time. Go to the question number 2. The writer started investigating miracle foods because go to the word miracle foods only in the text. If you go to the miracle food, you will find it where? Can you just pick the miracle food? You will find it. somewhere here in the text, here. Okay, you will find the miracle food that what because of her. However, after what happened to my wife, something wrong happened to her, to his wife, for example, to the writer's wife. So this is considered to be a personal experience, not magazine article. This is wrong. Not documentary film. This is a personal experience. So you will relate the keywords to the text. Try to choose, and I put the question in the side of the text here, so that we can match together. We can match the question together. Okay, so this is the way. Try to skim and scan. Try to go to the question, understand the question, the option, then go back and look for the words. Sometimes he believes, for example, number 40, he believes that people who buy these food are people who buy. Go to the people who buy food. He believes, are they lazy or anxious or stupid? Sometimes they might use synonyms. What's the meaning of synonyms? مرادفات. ما شرط بنفس الكلمة، ولكن مرادفات تكون they will be easy. Sometimes they will use antonyms, مضادات. So you have to be careful. Okay. So this for this one, we have already answered for question number 40. In my view, that they are just looking for a quick, easy. الشخص اللي يبحث عن الأشياء السهلة نقول عنه إيش؟ lazy. So they are looking for something easy, not very difficult. So they are not stupid, they are not anxious, they are lazy. So this is the way how to deal with reading. You have to be quick, you have to read the question carefully, try to underline the keywords. ضع خط تحت الكلمات المفتاحية، ابحث عنها في النص عشان تحصل الإجابة بشكل أسرع. ما حصلت صعبة، ما أخذت وقت، try to skim. تعدي هذا السؤال، ضع ملاحظة جنبه، روح للسؤال اللي بعده، وهكذا. So that you can save a lot of time for the other questions. Okay, I hope this is clear for everybody.
إن شاء الله. إذن طبعا هذه اللي هي أساسيات مهارة القراءة، قراءة
النصوص. نعم.
وكيفية الإجابة عليه بسرعة. معانا اتصال من حميد. السلام عليكم. يلا طيب نشوف سؤال آخر أستاذ. هذا السؤال فيما معناه أيضا لو كانت الكلمة غير واضحة في الفقرة، كيف نستطيع التعرف على معناها؟
This is a good question, by the way, and I have already answered this question earlier. And I will say that if it is difficult word in a sentence, try to guess the meaning from the context. This is the easiest way, because you might sometimes face or come up in the exam tomorrow with new words that you haven't come across before. So you have the only solution here, you have to guess the meaning from the context. يعني تحاول تخمن المعنى من السياق, so that you understand the whole sentence and you go back to the text. And in this way you will just you are more likely to get the correct answer. I hope this is beneficial for them.
طيب نشوف معانا أيضا عبر الهاتف حميد. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
كيف حالك يا حميد؟
بخير الحمد لله. طيب.
كيف استعدادك لمادة اللغة الإنجليزية؟
استعداد الحمد لله طيب.
إن شاء الله دائما طيب. وعندك الأستاذ تفضل.
Hi, how are you حميد؟
السلام عليكم أستاذ.
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. How are you doing?
بخير الحمد لله طيب.
Are you ready for the tomorrow's exam إن شاء الله؟
Yes, إن شاء الله.
So what is your favorite skill among all skills for the English language?
The grammar and vocabulary.
Grammar and vocabulary. This is nice, but you know the total mark for grammar and vocabulary tomorrow's exam? The total marks for all questions, grammar and vocabulary. We have already discussed this one. You know how many marks for all questions of grammar and vocabulary tomorrow's exam? Can you guess? Can you give me a rough number?
Yes.
How many marks do you think? Total mark for grammar and vocabulary. Have already mentioned this in the beginning if you were following. كم درجة تعتقد للجرامر والفوكابلري كامل الامتحان؟ ها حميد, are you with us?
20.
Not 20. Of course, it is 10. It is 10 marks, but you will have to focus, and I think you will be very lucky because you will have options for all grammar and vocabulary. Okay, and one of the grammatical questions will be having like 2 options. Okay, so inshallah it will be easy, but you have to focus, read carefully, try to understand, and shade in the bubble next to the correct option. Okay, Ahmed, what is your inquiries? What is your question, Ahmed?
Okay, teacher. Thank you, thank you.
All right, all the best, Ahmed. Good luck for tomorrow's exam. Any more?
ما أعطانا سؤاله؟
ماشي، بس كان استفسار عن الجرامر.
طيب حلو. إذا كل التوفيق لك يا حميد. إذا عندك سؤال، احنا طبعا موجودين حتى 5:30. في سؤال يمكن احنا متوقعين أستاذ قبل ما نطلع الهواء.
نعم.
سؤال مريم، إذا ممكن شرح مبسط للقواعد.
القواعد احنا شرحنا القاعدة الأولى، بإمكانهم يشوفوا بعدين في الإعادة بإذن الله. القاعدة الثانية كانت تتكلم على السريع. القاعدة الأولى نحن شرحناها. نعم، القاعدة الثانية هذه. This is very important. Thank you for this question. What is her name?
مريم.
Mariam, and the rest of the students, I'd like you to pay attention here for the modal verbs theme 2. We are in theme 2 here. They are talking about modal verbs, helping verbs, like for the obligation, desirability, or necessity. All right. So, for example, here, it only takes 10 minutes to drive to work. You don't need to leave home so early. You don't need to. When you put the negative, for example, here for indicating that the action is undesirable or unacceptable. I'd like you to leave the rule here. Focus with me here. And then we will answer some questions related to the exam. Here, for the grammar tips. If you have, and if you face tomorrow have and the negative, it will be followed by 2. For example, I have to work or I have to study hard today in order to get high marks. I have to study. I have to go to Muscat tomorrow. If you want to make the negative, I don't have to. I don't have to. It will be preceded or followed by the preposition to. Be careful. I have to work. Then need. The same thing. Need. I need to drink a lot of water. I need to drink a lot of water because it is summer and I am thirsty. If you make the negative, you will say, I don't need to drink a lot of water because I'm not thirsty. Okay? I don't need to drink a lot of water. But be careful. If you make needn't here, if you face needn't, it will be followed by infinitive. I needn't to work or I needn't work. What is the correct answer? I needn't work. So you have to be careful. If you face needn't, it will be followed immediately by an infinitive. Okay? I needn't work. I needn't drink. I needn't go. And so on. The verb in the infinitive. Ought and the negative. Ought and oughtn't. It will be followed the same with the preposition, then the infinitive. Okay? See for the rest here, which is not followed by the to and the infinitive. All right? Should and shouldn't. Should, the affirmative and the negative, it will be followed by infinitive. For example, teacher, can you give me an example? Yes. You should study hard. You should, after should, study. Not studied, not studies, not studied in the past. Okay? You should eat healthy food. You should eat healthy food. The verb after should must be in the infinitive. You should eat. I didn't say you should eats or you should eating. This is wrong. Okay? Or you should eat. It might come in tomorrow's exam. So you have to be careful. After should, after must or mustn't, after can or can't, after could or couldn't, after may or might, all these followed by the infinitive. What does it mean, infinitive, teacher? The verb in the first form, the basic verb. No addition of s, no adding ing or ed at all. All right? So let's answer question related to this. Teaching robotic in schools is now part of the curriculum here in Taiwan. Therefore, many schools have or should to buy. If you focus, you will find 2 here. Should, if you go to should here, should is not followed by 2. So this is wrong. After should, we don't have to. I said I should go to Muscat tomorrow. I didn't say I should to go. This is wrong in English. So after should, you will it will be should. After should, there will be a verb in the infinitive. So the correct answer will be have. Many schools have to. Why teacher have to? See the rule here. Have to. You will find it here. Have to. This one. Have. And this is the verb, the preposition to. And where is the infinitive, teacher? By. See, so this is the answer. Have to by. This is have to, and this is the infinitive. Infinitive means the verb in the base form without addition of s, ing, ed, and so on. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let's go to another question for grammar, for theme 2 grammatical structure. Speaker A will say, today I was reading about Earth Hour and I suggest that our family should join or joining the event this year. مثل ما خبرناكم, after should the verb must be in the infinitive. Very good. Which one is the infinitive here? Join or joining? Can you guess? Can you pick the answer? Yes, excellent. So we don't need ing after should. So the correct answer is join. You should join the events this year. So I hope by now this is clear for you. This is all about the grammatical question for theme 2, which focus on modal verbs. This one I would like to screenshot, or you may see the series and or the episode in the upload once it's uploaded to the YouTube later. Maybe at 10 o'clock it will be repeated, I think, and tomorrow's at 5 a.m. at dawn. All right. So this is all about theme 2. Let's go to infinitive and gerunds. So this is also important about the infinitive. Some verbs will be followed by infinitive, and some verbs will be followed by verb plus ing. How do you know? I will give you some hints and some words. From extensive reading, you will just, from the stories, you will find out that those verbs are limited. So I will give you some hints here. Sometimes the adjectives might followed by infinitive or the gerunds. And I will give you some example here. For example, it is difficult. This is an adjective. It's followed by ing, the verb in ing. It's difficult knowing when to stop. So this is an adjective followed by a gerund. Gerund means, what does it mean, teacher, gerund here? Gerund means فعل في ing بس. This is easy. I think, I hope it's easy for you. Infinitive يعني الفعل في المصدر من دون أي إضافة. No s, no ing, no ed. This is the meaning of infinitive. Okay. So this is the verb suggested. So suggested, one of the verbs occurred in the curriculum. It is there in your curriculum, in the course book and the workbook. So it will be followed by what? Gerund or infinitive. She suggested had or have or having to or to have. So those verbs will be followed by what? So you have to be really careful. And she suggested having. So this verb suggested, it will be folled by verb plus ing, not the infinitive. So teacher, can you give us some words, some like let's say verbs, so that we can just memorize or revise? Those are the verbs. For the blue verbs here, verbs that collocate only with the infinitives. So when you see attempt or decide, I attempt to go. So it will be preceded by verb plus to plus infinitive. So I promise to go. For example, if you use promise, يوعد, I promise to go. She promised to study, and so on. إذن هذه الأفعال كلهن تلحق ب to plus infinitive. هذه هي فعل في المصدر. لما تشوف هذه الأفعال، مثلا أنا وافقت إني أروح إلى صلالة. I agree to go to صلالة. I agree to go. ما يصير تقول I agree going، خطأ. لأن هذه الأفعال كلها ملحوقة تلحق بها to plus infinitive. الأفعال section number 2، هذه القائمة الثانية، verbs that collocate only with gerunds. كل الأفعال هنا لما تحصلهم تحصل فيهن ملحوقات بعدين ب ing. مثل إيش أستاذ؟ هذه الأفعال: practice, appreciate, finish, avoid, give up, quit, deny, and so on. For example, I practice reading English every day. I practice listening to English for example programs. إذا بغت مثال آخر I enjoy learning English language. I enjoy eating out. I enjoy eating. شايفين الفعل enjoy من بعد الفعل مباشرة في ing. فتأخذ ملاحظة على هذا. Try to take notes. Those are the most common verbs that will be collocated with the gerunds. دائما تأتي من بعدهن أفعال فيهن ing. For example suggest. هذه اللي جات في الامتحان السابق. suggest يقترح. يمكن نقول لك she في الماضي she suggested dash. بعد suggest أو suggested in the past the verb must be in the gerund or ing. I suggest going to London next summer for example. Okay, I suggest or I suggested even in the past. It's the same. Okay, I suggested going and so on. The last column will be really the last one. It will work with both. هنا أنت مخير. It's all up to you. You want to use it with the infinitive or the gerund with ing. For example, I begin to study. I begin studying. صح. Both are correct. Number 2. I start the same as begin. I prefer eating out tonight or I prefer to eat out tonight. Both are correct. So this column, it's all up to you whether you want to use it with followed by the infinitive or followed by gerund, which is ing. So try. Can you try the word or the verb try? I try writing some paragraphs. Very good. I try writing or I try to write. So those are the examples. So you will just practice more and you will just be familiar with the all examples here. آخر قاعدة last grammatical question. هنا بتكون grammatical rule in the theme. It was talking about used to plus infinitive. هذه سهلة. I used to معناتها أنا اعتدت على عمل شيء في الماضي. فهي talking about habits happened in the past. Okay, no longer happen right now. Okay, so for this one, I used to dislike. You have to be careful. For you used to be, for example, used to be here in the affirmative. For example, I used to dislike in the after to the verb in the infinitive. If you focus here, I never after never verb in the past. I never used. Okay, they didn't after didn't even after didn't. Here didn't. I will write it for you. Didn't. Okay. Plus infinitive. Be careful. يعني بعد didn't هذه ما تجي used تجي use فعل في التصريف الأول. Infinitive. Okay. Who used to live there? لما تسأل سؤال used في الماضي. Okay. Did you use? Why they write it use here? Because of the verb in the past did. إذا عندك لما تكون didn't أو تكون كسؤال did فدائما تستخدم الverb use. أنا أقول لك did you used to eat chocolate when you were young? For example, تقول I didn't use to eat lots of chocolate, for example. Okay, this is really important. And we'll go to the question related to the task. Question from the final year exam, by the way. Yes, I started a small business selling robotic assembly kits in 2007. I used, شوف كيف طريقة صياغة السؤال. I used to sell or sell. I used. He said I used. Immediately followed by to plus verb in the infinitive. I use sell هذه خطأ. I use sell. I used to sell. إذا the correct answer to sell. لو تروح على القاعدة مباشرة بشكل مباشر جايينك من القاعدة. This is directly from the grammatical structure which is in theme 4. Okay. So the correct answer I used to sell. Right. I hope this is clear for everybody. And those are the WH question, which is not only important in the listening or in the grammar, but also in the reading, and it might show up in the writing. So you have to know the differences between who, asking about a person, where, asking about a place, when, asking about time, why, asking about reasons. So this is important in listening, reading, grammar, and it might show up in the reading and writing. So this is really important. Try to screenshot and take notes and study them well. All right? So let's do the exercise if we don't have any questions from the students.
إذا تحب تاخذ أستاذ في أسئلة اللي
Yes.
هو بماذا ينصحنا الأستاذ؟ هل نبدأ ب reading or writing or grammar or vocabulary؟
Yeah, I would
هذه
like to give you.
سؤال أمجاد
Yes,
عشان تكون
أمجاد.
بس يعني.
Yes, this is a good question, Amjad. And I would like to give my students this piece of advice. Try to, once you receive your piece of exam, or your exam paper, try to read the listening task first. Try to spend 5 to 10 minutes, read all the questions for the listening, because you will have 2 pages. First one will be multiple choice, first page, and the second page will be a WH question and multiple choice. Try to read the questions carefully, try to understand, try to underline the keywords, try to translate maybe, and then go immediately to the grammar. The grammar will be only 10 marks. So don't spend too much time. Please, if you know the answer, try to shade in the bubble. If you don't know, try to skip and go to other skills. Try to manage your time effectively. حاول تدير وقتك بفاعلية في الامتحان. عندك 3 ساعات. You got only 3 hours. Don't waste your time reading and looking for answer for a long time, because reading question will worth only, for example, 1 mark. Don't spend 5-10 minutes looking for that answer. Unless you have finished all the answers, go back to the questions. لأن في الأخير أنت تخلي 10 دقائق عشان تشيك الإجابات كامل. I would like to recommend that you will read the listening first, go to the vocabulary immediately, try to shade in the bubbles, then go to the reading true false. Maybe you can answer 1, 2, 3 questions. Try to, maybe some students prefer to jump into the writing. They can write the introduction, maybe the body for each paragraph, because you will have an informative writing tomorrow and an interactive writing. Okay, so it depends on the students. I can't tell you where to start. So it depends on the levels, it depends on what is easy for you. So you can just decide which one to finish, but try to devote your time, try to spend your time effectively during the exam. All right? I hope this one is helpful for you.
إن شاء الله. معانا عبر الهاتف سيف. السلام عليكم يا سيف.
وعليكم السلام.
كيف حالك يا سيف؟
الحمد لله إن شاء الله بخير.
يلا يا سيف عندك الأستاذ، أعطينا سؤالك.
مرحبا أستاذ.
مرحبا سيف. How are you?
I'm fine.
So are you ready for the exam tomorrow, Saif?
Yeah, inshallah we are ready.
So what is your favorite part of the English language?
I just have simple question just to ask.
Sorry, I can't hear you well. Saif, can you raise your voice? Can you speak up, please?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have just one question. Just we want to look for easy way how we can answer the question which is for.
Saif, can you speak
listening.
up, please? Can you raise your voice? I can't hear you.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, teacher, you hear me now?
Yes, it's crystal clear. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Saif, go ahead.
Yes, you hear me now?
Yes,
Clear?
I can hear you well.
Yeah. We're just looking for the easy way how we can answer the question which is for the listening.
Listening, yes, I have already given some tips for how to deal with listening, because listening comes with practice. The more you listen, the more likely to get the answer correctly, because some students tend to watch movies, to listen to English podcasts, and their vocabulary, they are getting used to this listening. So it might be very easy for them. So for the listening, I will just give you this piece of advice. Try to read the question before the listening come with the teacher. Of course, before playing the CD, try to read the questions carefully, underline the keywords. Be careful with the keywords, the most important words in each question, either multiple choice or WH question. Try to understand the WH question. What is required? Is it a year? Is it he is asking about a person? Is he asking about a reason? Maybe why? So you have to be careful. Here he is asking about a reason. He write why, for example. So I have to think of the reason in the conversation they are talking, okay? Yeah. I hope that you will get high marks in listening.
Inshallah. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and good luck, Saif, for tomorrow's exam.
All over. Thank you.
All the best.
موفق يا سيف، نتمنى لك أكيد طبعا كل التوفيق بكرة في مادة اللغة الإنجليزية. ما شاء الله عليه هو.
ما شاء الله.
نشوف أستاذ سؤال أيضا، هل يأتي أكمل في الفوكابولاري والجرامر؟
لا يوجد. gap completion is already deleted. I think 5 years ago. من 5 سنوات خلاص أو 6 سنوات لغوه خلاص. النظام الحين كله اختياري، وهذا أنا أقول يصب في مصلحة الطالب للاختيار، خاصة الجرامر أول سؤال في القواعد بيكون اختياري، السؤال الثاني نفس الشيء اختياري، والثالث مزيج بين القواعد والمفردات اختياري. سؤال القواعد اللي هو من 5 أسئلة نفس الشيء بيكون يعني multiple choice out of 2 option. يعني سؤال قواعد بيجيكم كل سؤال عليه خيارين، يعني انت المفروض هنا تركز وتجيب الاجابه بالشكل صحيح، يعني خيارين لكل سؤال، ما معطينك 4 خيارات. السؤال الاول في المفردات اللي هي الفوكابلري معطينك 4 خيارات، اقرا السؤال وايش المفردة المناسبة اختارها. السؤال الثاني في الجرامر معطينك فقط 5 أسئلة اللي هي كconversation speakers، ومعطينك على كل فراغ خيارين 2 options for each gap. واضح؟ أتمنى يكون واضح. نفس الشيء السؤال الأخير اللي هو المزيج، عندكم options you have to choose. They are all multiple choices. You have to shade in the bubble next to the correct option. Don't be in hurry. Focus. Try to read carefully. لا تستعجل أبدا. اقرأ بحذر. افهم السؤال. ضل الإجابة اللي تحس أنت هي صحيحة. واضح؟ I hope this is really helpful for all of you.
نعم. أستاذ أيضا بالنسبة للرايتنج، هل هو يأتي إيميل أو مقال أو شيء ثاني؟
بالنسبة للرايتنج we have already explained this one. It will come 2 questions. Question number 1 will be about informative, in which you will write about, for example, an event or about person or about a topic. For example, let's talk about the importance of social media. هذا موضوع حر تقدر تكتب عنه introduction و body conclusion اللي هو مواضيع لها علاقة بالثيمات اللي أخذناها. Let's talk about, for example, the importance of being a good role model or a good a good citizen. مواطن صالح. The importance أهمية أنك تكون مواطن صالح في البلد. المواطنة أو citizenship. Alright. So this is the informative. النوع الثاني بيكون interactive. شرحناه بالضبط، بإمكانكم ترجعوا حل إعادة. النوع الثاني بيكون interactive اللي هو كتابة تفاعلية، يا إما رسالة رسمية أو غير رسمية. نحن شرحنا أكثر الرسالة الغير رسمية، ولكن ما يمنع أن الطالب يعرف كيفية التعامل مع الرسالة الرسمية. شرحنا الاثنين، الرسالة الغير رسمية الانفورمال دير فريند أو دير أحمد وكيف تكتبها، والرسالة الثانية اللي هي توجهها لمسؤول أو بشكل رسمي، مدير مطعم فندق أو معلم أو مدير، بتكتب دير سير. فالرسالة الرسمية تفرق عن الرسالة الغير رسمية، ونحن ذكرناها بالتفصيل.
نعم.
لو ترجعوا على الحلقة.
أيوة نعم. إذا كان بإمكانكم أيضا المتابعة في الإعادة الأولى بعد 10 مساء، وأيضا الإعادة الثانية في 5:30 في صباح اليوم التالي. ومعانا عبد الرحمن. السلام عليكم يا عبد الرحمن.
الو السلام عليكم.
كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله بخير.
يلا يا عبد الرحمن أعطينا سؤالك احنا كذا في الدقائق الأخيرة.
Hi teacher. I do have a question.
Yes, go ahead. What's your question, please?
I'm in a private school.
Yeah.
And are we going to have a listening tomorrow in tomorrow's school exam?
Yes, for the private schools, I have no idea about it, to be honest with you. So for the government schools, they will definitely have a listening task tomorrow. So for the private schools, you might ask your teachers or your school principals there.
Okay. Thank you so much, teacher.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
شكرا جزيلا لك يا عبد الرحمن. أعتقد كذا احنا خلاص خلصنا في اليوم. أو في إضافة أخيرة كذا.
One more exercise, one more activity for the grammar. إذا كان في مجال دقيقة 1 minute.
في
أقل عن دقيقة.
دقيقتين تفضل.
يلا دقيقتين. So I hope that you are following, dear students. We have the last grammatical questions here from the previous year's exams. So if you read quickly, this is the type of grammar we'll have. You will have 2 options for each gap. 2 options for each question here. Speaker A will say, how long have you been in Taiwan, Ahmed? He said, I have been there for a period of time here, for 15 years, for example here. So are you, so if you focus that, are you work or working? This is the present continuous. You have covered this in grade 10 and 11. So those are basic grammatical structures you have studied before. So I think it is obvious, it's easy for you to pick the answer because you have already taken those grammatical structure. So are you working? Are you working there now? Because he asking about something happening right now. Okay. Yes, I started a small business selling robotic assembly in kits in 2007. We have already answered this one. I used to sell because used after used to imperative, then a verb in the imperative. Okay. Let's jump in swiftly to speaker B. Teaching robotic in school is now part of the curriculum in Taiwan. Therefore, many schools have or should. We have already answered this one in the grammatical question. Have or should. Which one to choose? Go to the 2 here. Have, it must be followed by 2. So the correct answer, I have to. Should, it will not followed by 2. This is wrong. But have to, this is right. I should, this is wrong. You write 2. I should go. Immediately the infinitive. But for have, I have to, for example, go. This is the correct structure here. For the last question, that's interesting. And this is WH question. That's why I mentioned the types of WH question in that slide. How or what can school in Oman get them? He's asking how they can get them. The answer, well, they can purchase. What's the meaning of purchase? Buy. Another synonym for the word buy, يشتري. Either the correct answer will be how. I hope that this is clear for you, and inshallah it will be very easy for you if you focus tomorrow. And that's it about that grammar, and this is the grammatical and vocabulary. This is the grammar and vocabulary joined together, and you have to read carefully the option, then go back to the text. Okay, try to see the distractors. For example, food stylists are creative professionals who prepare food for photographs and advertisements. Many restaurants dash freelance food stylists. What are they doing? Are they locating? Wrong. Are they playing? Wrong. They are hiring. Yes, very good. So those are distractors. Practice, wrong. Okay, so this you can understand from the context. Try to choose the correct one by reading and fitting the word into the gaps. So it will be really easy for you to understand if you read carefully and then you will choose the correct answer easily, inshallah. Okay, that's all about the grammar, and you can just do the rest of them, and then I will give you here the correct answer because we are running out of time. Okay, you have to be careful.
طيب استاذي، احنا طبعا اكيد شاكرين تواجدك معنا اليوم لماده اللغه الانجليزيه. شكرا جزيلا استاذ سلطان محمد السالمي، معلم اول لماده اللغه الانجليزيه. شاكرين لك على هذا الشرح التفصيلي.
استاذه فايزه، وتمنيات لي بالتوفيق لطلبه دبلوم التعليم العام في اختبار الغد، وننصحكم ان شاء الله بعدم الاستعجال، عندكم 3 ساعات، وكل التوفيق لكم باذن الله.
إن شاء الله. إذا طبعا شكر موصول لكم أحبتي على طيب المتابعة لمادة اللغة الإنجليزية لهذا اليوم. بالتأكيد أمنيات التوفيق للجميع. شاكرين لكم أيضا التفاعل معنا عبر الهاتف وعبر البريد وأيضا عبر هاشتاج درس على الهواء. متمنين لكم كل التوفيق. تقبلوا تحياتي، تحيات فريق العمل وأيضا مخرج البرنامج ناصر الشكيلي. يتمنى لكم مساء رائعا وإلى اللقاء.